Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Robbie Altree. That's right. Take a sip, take a toke, or whatever it is you like to do. Kevin L., what's
Hey,
going
Robbie and
on, brother?
Kevin.
Mm, Getting started early. How's everybody's week go? Ours wasn't too bad. I worked on the basement over the weekend, last weekend, but I didn't all week. So we're going to finish that up, I think, this weekend. There's not that much left. I don't know what everybody else got going on, but I have been spending a lot of time on Marketplace. I like looking at stuff. You guys all know that. Am I live, hon?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure. Sound off if you're in here, folks. There's
Hey, Becky.
Becky. Hi, Becky. What's going on, man? Yo, Joe, thanks. What's happening, my
Hey,
brother?
Joe.
It's in
Torp.
Ohio. Torp, what's happening, brother? Two Babe Jenkins, what's going on?
Hey, True Babe.
What's the good word?
True Babe, you haven't been to a wedding in a couple weeks. I'm starting to wonder.
I'm telling you, he goes to a lot of events. He knows
his,
a lot
his
of
wife
people
works
getting
with a
married.
lot of young nurses.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Poor Possum, what's going
Hey,
on?
PPSS.
Man, how did you get a 9-inch for $100? Does it have a center section, or did you just get the housing, Rick? Man, that's a heck of a price.
Hey, Gordon.
Oh man, Martin Wright stops by and drops. Thank you, man. That's
Oh, look
really
at
nice of
that.
you, Martin.
Martin's granddad.
Martin snuck right up on us, man.
He's a granddad.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Paul White.
Wow, you're grandpa, man. That's awesome, man.
There's one.
That's pretty cool, Martin. Wow. Thanks, man. Paul White, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? There's one. I'll give you one reason. So I don't know. I was showing Kim a couple cars this week. One that I've been looking at, and I've had it saved for a couple days. It's a 2011 Challenger, and it's got the V8 in it. But it was a flood car. How do you guys feel about flood cars? I mean, the guy he put all new interior in it, and it's got the newer Demon wheels on it. It's really cool. It's only got 55,000 miles on it. He says it runs great, but flood cars,
Yep.
the electrical problems I don't want to have because I have problems with those.
Robbie says no.
Robbie says no, don't get a
True
flood
Babe
car.
says no. Kevin says no.
No, okay. I'll show it to you. Well, it is dirt cheap. Well, I don't want to say it's dirt cheap. It's not dirt cheap. I think what was it, Kim? 14,000?
I
I
think
think
so,
he said
yes.
14 grand he wanted for it. But
Hey, Tony G.
you buy something like that, even if it is a good runner and even if it wasn't saltwater, the problem is the R title. Nobody really wants an R title. It's the same. I'm running into the same thing when I look at the 350 and the 370Zs. They're all reconstructed titles because somebody gets their hands on them, they can't handle them, and they wrap them up a little bit.
I'm glad you got your computer up and running, Tony. Blood pressure.
Pretty soon, I'm about 2
Hey,
months
Mark.
out, and I'll be 55. You're right, Martin. It is a blessing, man. Well, that's pretty awesome that your family's growing, man. Yo,
Hey,
Bulldog Garage is here. What's up, Bob? Thanks for
hey,
coming in.
and Don's here too. Hey,
Don, what's
Bulldog.
going on, man?
And Mark's here. You missed Mark.
Mark, Hedgeville, West Virginia. What's happening, brother? Uh-oh, Gordon's here. What's going on, brother? It's true. And it was in Maryland. So, it's one of those things where it might have been salt water, it might have been fresh water, but it let me pull it up. I'll show it to you guys. It is a nice car. It's just how that goes. But whenever you see the price, and it's like I was telling Kim, it's a $20,000 car if it didn't have all that. But you know, And it has been on there a while. That's one of those things where you're not gonna see it's got the newer demon wheels on it. If I can get it. I think there's the he put new interior in it. He said that all the interior's new. But I would be worried, like, the airbag stuff and the electricals and all that stuff. But he claims it's a nice running car. But it's been on there for a long time. Yeah, that's what I'd be afraid of, Robbie, because it's like even on the simpler, the older stuff, like all us guys mess with. I'm not very good with that. That's why Phil was a blessing, man. Because having somebody like him with a strong background and that kind of stuff. Because I was very weak on that. I'm better at it now. I mean, watching Phil and I know and paying attention to how the gasser was wired up. I kind of have an idea now. You know. And
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
just
it
look how
was
nice
done.
and neat the engine compartment is and all that. The color's really cool too. But
Don missed it. It's a flood car, right?
yeah, it's a flood car. I'll tell you what, let me see if I can come in.
$18,000 1990 Ford Escort. Serious.
I was looking at a Vega today too for $3,500. The trunk is completely gone. If I had room in the shop, I might have grabbed it. It was $3,500, but I could probably got it for like 2 grand. I would tub something like that because it's the
Everybody said no. Everybody.
okay, okay. Well, Tony G made it. What's up, Tony? Tony was out the last couple weeks. He did call us to let us know he was okay. He got himself a new computer and he forgot a password and he had to get a smartphone and all that. I'll let you tell him, Tony. But
Hey, out of
Tony
order.
has a smartphone and a new computer at the end of the day. All right, let me see here. Let me go to my channel. And then if anybody wants to go in there and look, they can come in here. Sorry about that. It's going to take me a second to get in here. Well, if I can get it to come up.
He doesn't listen to me, Robbie.
I listen to you. I listen to everybody. I can't get it to. Hon, can you share it? You don't know how to, do you?
Hey, Frank.
And YouTube's getting. They're trying to sell me stuff instead of letting me just do what I want to do. I'm getting tired of it. Now it won't let me do anything.
All right, you don't need to do it.
I know.
Even Becky's husband across the room said no.
I said no. Oh, but yeah, from across. No, no, no flood court. Well, I wanted to ask because it's like varying degrees of what people think. The newer stuff, I guess I'd have to agree. All right, there's the link. If anybody wanted to go look at it, that's the Facebook link to the car. But I
Right,
was looking
Martin?
at it and I'm like, well, I'll ask everybody and see what they think because flood cars are scary. But think about it. Like but it's the new car that scares me because of the like I said, the airbags and stuff. But it's like the older cars, how many of them have been through the floodplains and everything else? But we rebuild those. So I don't know. Get that. I got that turned down. But I value you guys' opinion and I'll go with it. It's a no. But I mean, that car's been on there for 11 months, it says. So, when I did say that to Kim, I said, you buy something like that, you're keeping it because they're hard to sell. Once you got an R title, especially a Pennsylvania, I don't know where everywhere else, but we got these reconstructed titles, cars totaled. You can buy it from the insurance company and you can rebuild it and you can get it retitled. But once they're reconstructed, people don't want R titles.
There you go. Out of order said he wouldn't pay $1,000 for it.
Well, there you go. See that's a strong in is indignation right for that, Kim? Is that a right word for that? Probably not. No, we don't want to see that. I don't. And like I say, I'm scared. I'm scared of electrical stuff. Not scared of it. It's just I don't know it. So, but there you go. Nobody wants to do that. Maybe, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know. It's like that's why I asked you guys. I was looking at it and I'm like, well, the price is nice, but the floodplain stuff is
But
not
that
for me.
price isn't even that great, Brian.
You don't think? I like the color and all, and the interior's like newer, and it
Yeah.
has the new demon wheels and stuff. So I kind of dug all that stuff.
He said about 20.
About 20, Don, I would say. My brother turned in his SRT and sold it to the dealership down the street from his house, and they gave him 32 grand for it. And it was that a two? I think it was a two. Don't quote me, but I think it was a 2016 or a 17, and it had the Hemi, and it was black on black on black. It was very, and my brother takes very good care of his stuff. So they gave him 32 grand. They didn't even flinch. He needed money because he put a swimming pool in.
But what did you do with those salvage title trucks? Did you use them just to drive around and beat on PPSS?
I mean, the older stuff, Rick, they'll sell and move. Nobody cares at that point. But like the newer cars, if they're R titled, nobody wants them. At least around here. I mean, sure, you could like a 75 C10 or something. Yeah, sure. It's no big deal. Just like the gasser, it's like, I mean, the whole world that there's no secrets on that car. Everybody can go to the channel and they could look at the car. That's what we did to it. If you don't like it, change it. But it's certainly not close to original.
There
But
you go.
what's that?
PPSS said he drove forever and sold. So,
There you go.
yeah, work's been a little tough, hasn't it, Don? At least next week is supposed to get warm.
Yeah, we're gonna start warming up starting next week. It looks like, but it was freezing this week. I mean, Kim don't complain much, but she was even complaining a little bit. It was really cold.
I don't complain much about the
We're
weather.
complaining the cold to a bunch of people that are up in Canada. We don't even know what cold is, I don't think, but that wind gets blowing, you can forget it. You can forget it. That's pretty cool, Frank. That the 90s pickup trucks are hot right now. You guys, if you thumb through, I don't know, lately on the shorts, they've been showing me a lot of like cars crossing the block for Mecum. I don't know. Maybe they said, "Here, try looking at these," and I watch them the whole way through. So obviously they keep showing me different ones, and it looks like a lot of the there was a couple trucks in their not they were the 90s, and one of them only had like 14,000 miles on it, and it went for like I want to say $40,000. I was like, holy crap, man! And there was a 95 Impala SS, and it sold for $60,000. Low mile car. One of those cars that somebody just bought it and parked it. But
Yeah, that's cold, Frank.
that is cold, brother.
I'm sick of the cold too, Don. What was your first car you wish you still owned?
You're right, Kevin. They are. What car I wish I do wish I kept my 2006 Chevy truck. I should have kept it. But, if I
You
would
should have
have
kept the
pushed if I
truck.
would have pushed, she would have said keep it, but it would have just sat because I mean I absolutely love riding. And my truck's a 2014. It's not new. It's new to me, but it's not new. But I absolutely I love that truck, man. I could sit in that truck all day. It's like I take Kim shopping. I just sit in the truck and look at my phone while she shops. I got either the air
Hey,
conditioner in the
GMP.
summer and the heat in the winter. Yo, Glenn, what's up, brother?
That's okay. We set the clocks ahead in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to that for sure. That's when you know. And like I say, then I can start whipping the door open on the shop and start getting some stuff done.
You going to Mardi Gras, Robbie? You gonna head down there for some parades? 90s SS Impala. That's a cool car, Don.
Well, like I said, the one on that's what it was. The one on Meekum, I said to cross the block, the SS Impala sold for $60,000, but it was a very low mile car. I should tell that guy at work because that his car hasn't sold yet. That Cadillac has not sold yet, and I don't think he's asking a lot. He wants $15,000 for it, but it's only got 4,000 miles on it. I should try to find the link for that and show it to these guys.
Oh, Don just bought a new to him truck. That's a cool truck. Chevy Denali or Yukon Denali.
That's a nice truck. That still, Don, you probably gave every bit of $40,000 for it. Denali at 2018, maybe more. Those they're not cheap. They beat you up for these used trucks now.
You have a Bulldog has a 1996 Impala that he wants to sell. Or do you say want to sell or won't sell?
Won't sell.
He says, but he put 2 in there.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Too many. I know. Good thing you weren't there when the Eagles were there.
Hopefully it'll come up. I don't know if it was a DeVille though. Thought it was. I know I showed it to you guys over the computer. I should have saved it, and I didn't save it. Let me just try searching it a different way. But to me, it's worth it. It's worth every penny that he wants for it. But
Oh, there you go. Bulldog. It says he will sell, and it's only got 55,000 miles on it.
wow, see, that's a low mile car. I'll have to look for it.
My car's
I should have saved it in my.
How many miles on my car, Brian?
Kim's Subaru has 1,600 and something miles on it.
I put the miles on the car the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. I can't find it. Kim, they showed me that car like at least 10 times on the first page for like the past 2 weeks. I'm like, man, his car still ain't sold. And now I'm looking for it and can't find it. Maybe he sold it. Because I wanted to copy the link so these guys could go look at it.
Bulldog, you're from Ohio too, right? I think Bulldog's from Ohio.
There's a lot of Ohio guys in here. Oh well, we tried. I wasn't smart enough to save it. I wasn't smart enough to save it. Oh, is Chaz in here?
No, I haven't seen Chaz yet.
Because I found a 72 Grand Prix I was going to tell him he needed to buy. It's got Chaz's name. It just reeks Chaz. As soon as I looked at it, he popped in my head. I'm like, Chaz would love that car. Window shopping for your friends. Nice.
That's a good truck too, Kevin.
That is a good truck. Kevin, I am the exact same. I am the exact same. I wanted that truck that I have out in the driveway when it was brand new, and they were 90 in 2014. Well, with 2014, 15, they were $90,000, $85,000, $90,000. There ain't no way I'd give that kind of money for a car, even no matter how bad I wanted.
I have to look that one up, Frank. I don't know what that is.
Cordoba. Yeah, they're cool. That's like a big boat, hun.
I don't like big boats.
Let me
We should have
see.
kept the Firebird.
That's one car I do
No,
wish we
not the
kept.
Firebird the old Firebird, the gold one.
Yeah, the gold one. That's what I'm talking about, huh? Which one are you talking about?
The one that we when we lived at my parents'.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gold car. I wish I would have kept it. I gave it to a guy because he needed a car, and he ended up being a drug addict or something, and he ended up taking it into a salvage yard just to get money. It's like, dude, just put tags on it and drive it. I should have kept it, but we were young then. Kim and I were still in our late 20s. It was just sitting in the front yard because we both had cars, and it wasn't nobody was using it. And it was like, well, let's just get it out of here. And I didn't have money to fix it back then. So we just got rid of it. And the guy, well, I thought was my buddy. I was like, here, man, you need a car to get to work. Use this, just tag it. It ran, it was fine. The only problem it had is like every once in a while it wouldn't kick down. So you'd stop at a light, you'd have to stand on the brake pedal because it would still be like revving high like it wanted to go, and then it would finally kick down. I think it was that little vacuum switch on the transmission, but I didn't know any better back then, man. You know,
Old cars are cool, Martin, and they do remind you of better times.
there. That's the 72 Grand Prix that I saw, and I thought of Chaz. There you go. It's easier to do that than have you guys. I guess I could show you the picture on the thing too. That that's it there. Let me see. That's it there. I saw I saw that car for sale. I'm like, man, that's got Chaz's name all over it. Remember, he had something like that. It was like a 76 or a 77. Remember whenever it was COVID and we were having that car show for the D Boss car show, and I think Chaz put his. Was it a Grand Prix? I can't remember the car he put in there, but it was a big boat like this. It was one of them, and it did pretty good on there. Lincoln MK Mach. What is that? 5, 8? I don't know. That's just like the gasser. It's got a MKX Lincoln MKX fan on it to keep it cool. Mark 8. Okay. My buddy has one of them Lincoln crossovers, and he just needed the module. He gave me the fan. You guys do. I put it in the gas. I'll never, that's one of those hot rod lessons you learn. I'm not kidding you, man. I will never buy an aftermarket fan again. I got that aftermarket fan out in the shed. I got the extra radiator out there. One of these times when I get bored, I'm just going to go to one of these swap meets and bring that stuff with me. I could probably trade or do something with somebody with that stuff, but I'll never buy an aftermarket fan again. I got two or three of them laying around here, and I'll go to the junkyard or I'll go and I'll order because I know what that MKX fan is, and there's no other reason. I'm told somebody in here, I can't remember who, told me, and they were using Ford Escort, I think it was, cooling fans. But the moral of the story is that those things pull way more air than the aftermarket, way more. And you don't have to use the modules that are on them. You just like he gave me the fan. You could just pull the module off and you just wire it direct, just like you would anything else, and just have it turn off and on according to a temperature switch. That's all I did. Yeah, Taurus. That's what it is, Frank. The Taurus. I was thinking Escort. It was the Taurus, and you know, and you could see it. I remember, I think I did a short on it where I laid the aftermarket fan, and I think Kim filmed it because you could hear her voice in the background in one of them. And the one fan was just like, the aftermarket. And then I plugged in that fan for that MKX, and it blew the plastic off of the gasser because I had the whole car covered in plastic. I was painting something, and it blew the plastic right off the car. What a difference.
One wants to know what happened to the Mercury gas, or did it sell?
It's still on there. I just looked at it this morning. It's still on there. He hasn't moved on the price. He's holding firm, but you let it sit for a while, you run that risk like that. I kick myself. I should have got a hold of that guy for that GMC because even Kim like that. I could have probably got away with that one, but it was like 25 grand. And how much could I get them down? But I was waiting. You wait about 3, 4 weeks and get a hold of them, and they're like, well, it ain't moving. That truck's old. That was a nice truck. He wasn't going to come down much anyway because he did everything on that thing. That was a nice truck, but we don't need it. We got other stuff we got to get right now.
What color did you say you were gonna paint the Nova?
I'm gonna I'm gonna just use the I'm just gonna use the hot rod paint, but I'm gonna do that satin. Remember we was showing her the other day. We went and got this not Chinese food. We went to ramen noodles. You guys ever go to the ramen noodle like a restaurant? We never tried it. We like ramen. We said let's try it. I won't go back. I don't. I can make better oodles and noodles at home. I don't know, but we were up there and a car came past. A lot of the new cars, you guys know, they're coming out. They're satin. They're not gloss anymore. A lot of and this a blue one came across, and it just made me think. It's like, that's what we're gonna do. Whatever color, I think we're leaning towards white on the Nova, but we're gonna do it in a satin white. That way you don't have to worry about it. But
No, no pink, Robbie.
no pinks.
I like orange.
And then I ran into a guy at a car show because I can't, it's like that's one thing. I tried painting, I ain't good at it, and I can't keep bothering Jimmy. But I was talking to a guy at the car show, and he was telling me that if you get a car ready, you just go up to Mako and they'll paint it in their booth for you. And he's like, he did like two car in the car he had there. That's what he did. It was a beautiful paint job, but he said, dude, it came out of the booth. It was terrible. They had runs and they had everything else, but he color sanded it and buffed it. And he said he just sanded it until it was perfect. But you better know because somebody like me, I'll ruin it. I'll burn right through the paint. A lot of people know how to do that. They got the feel for it. I'd burn through the paint.
Mark doesn't like a car that doesn't shine.
Mark wants a shiny car. I understand, Mark. It's like I love the way the gasser is. It's like even it's got a tiny bit of overspray. I mean, Jimmy fought that car all night because of the heat. It was so hot, and it was like as we were painting it, it was drying. So and when you're in a paint booth, even when you got good exhaust, a little bit of overspray, the paint's supposed to eat it, and but not if it's that hot. And he put every kind of agent on it to try to delay it, but it's so cool. It's like all I got to if I wanted a shiny car, Mark, Jimmy said, just color sand it and buff it, and it'll come up shiny. But because that's all hot rod is. They put that dulling agent in it. But you sand that off, and then you got gloss black. I like the dull look. And everybody rubbernecks when I pull in the parking lot. I don't know if it's because of how loud it is, but I think it looks pretty cool whenever I'm coming in. But then again, I think I'm cool, and Kim told me I'm not.
I don't think so, Martin. I don't think they'll ever know.
The what, hon?
Martin said that he worries that the kids will never know the joy of flooring a big V8.
It's something. I mean, my son, if he could drive a stick, I'd probably let him try the gasser, but just riding in it, he knows what it feels like when I hammer it down, man. Because I do my little spots. I have a little. I don't like go crazy around town. I'll pick a spot. That's like I did with my neighbor. We were getting on the bypass, and it's like from what is that where the Providence is, hon? 252.
Yeah.
The on ramp's long, and I just nailed it. And he's like, "Cop, sit up there." It's like, dude, don't worry. As soon as we get into the highway, just let off the gas and coast at 55. But getting to 55, I do it in a big hurry.
I might be back in PA next week. They're supposed to have the computers back up.
I hear you, Mark, but I mean, some do I mean, everybody has their own flavor, I guess. But for the most part, you're right. But on some stuff, I don't mind. Like hot rod stuff, I'm more reserved. I don't want it popping. Now, if I had like ever since we were talking about Monte Carlos last week, a couple of those popped up. One's in Ohio. If I find it again, I should find it and show it to Dawn. But it's like I think it was a 76 or a 77. And I love those things because they have the double stacked headlights. A lot of guys used to take the hoods off and put blowers on them things. You got them old Monties, man, they were cool. But I mean, something like that, I'd want a shiny paint job on.
It's time.
I know, hon. I just got this in my hand. I was just getting through that.
Do you have any magnets left?
Huh?
Do you have any magnets left?
Do I have any magnets? I probably do. I'd have to dig around. Yeah, I got magnets. Why? Should I give them one of those?
Yeah. Magnets on a bumper sticker.
All right. So Kim said we're doing a bumper
Hey,
sticker magnet combination. So this is the magnet. This is the bumper sticker. I need a number between 50 and 100. Between 50 and 100.
51 and 100.
Huh?
51 and 100.
51 and 100, whatever. There it is.
Bulldog.
Oh, Bulldog. Bulldog. Don guessed 87. It was 88.
Oh, and out of order guess.
Don guessed the first number, 87. But look, you guys can see Kim sent me a text, 88. So there you go. Bob, I think I still have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Bob Mack. You're still in Ohio, right, Bob?
He said yes.
I got you, brother. Very cool. Bumper
Robbie
sticker and a magnet heading your way, Bob. All right, there you go.
Robbie likes the station wagon on your Woody shirt, your Woody t-shirt.
Oh yeah. Kim finds me cool shirts. I like these kinds of shirts. I like them. I don't like I used to wear, I had a strict rule. I would wear t-shirts that had nothing on them. I didn't want to be a billboard for like years, all through my 20s and most of my 30s and 40s. I wouldn't wear a shirt outside the house that had stuff on it. It would just have to be a plain, any color, but I wouldn't want anything on it. But then Kim starts she starts finding me cool graphics like this. It's just, I like that kind of stuff, simple stuff. Or my favorite one's my big Woody shirt, but I got a little hole in that. Kim had to sew it.
I thought your favorite shirt was the Bronco shirt.
Well, I like the Bronco shirt now, hon, but my favorite shirt's the big Woody shirt.
Wow, well, it does sell
t-shirts. I don't wear it that
much
anymore because it got that hole in it. Remember you had to sew it?
Mm-hmm. Wow does sell t-shirts.
I don't know one. I'll have to look and see. Do they,
yes.
hon?
They sell a t-shirt that says Wow with the goose on there.
Oh, there you go.
It's a Canada goose.
I don't go in there that much. Kim and I don't go to the Wawa that much. We went about a month ago, and they used to have great meatball sandwiches, and they changed the rolls, and it's so streamlined and fast now. It's garbage. It's not good anymore. So we don't go there that much. They stopped selling the beefy mac that Kim and I used to like, so Kim had to start making it here at home the best she could. She figured it out. best car movie. Man, there's a lot. I always liked the Hollywood Nights. It made me laugh. Kim didn't like that. We didn't hate it, but she didn't really like that movie. She said I overhyped it, but I loved the Hollywood Nights. Um, I love Hot Rod. I think everybody loves Hot Rod with the 41 Willies. Obviously, two lane blacktop. I'll let you guys rattle some
What
off.
do you call them? Cobra chickens?
What's that?
He said we don't call them Canada geese up here. You just call them geese? That's nice of your wife, Frank. Hey, empty pockets. What's going on?
Yo, empty pockets. What's up? Yeah, one. I get you, man, with the shirt
We
stuff. I
do have
still
a
have a bunch of
Wegmans.
them in my drawer. You know, it's like, and a lot of times when I go to like the car show and it's really hot in the summer, I just wear a white T-shirt anyway, a V-neck.
Death Race 2000. How about Death Race 2000?
Death Race 2000. Yeah, I think everybody likes the American Graffiti movie too, Don. That's a good movie. The Dazed and Confused cars. You know what? You're right, Don. There was some cool cars on there that.
No, I don't think we should make Canada a state.
Ooh,
They're a
Pristine.
country.
I hadn't thought of that movie in a long time, Martin. That was a crazy movie, man.
I don't think
He got that off a guy. Was it like a swamp or something where he bought that thing?
Mad Max, they were good. That's a good car movie.
Yes. What was that? That was a Ford. What was that car? It's a Ford GT or something. What was it? I'm trying to remember what that car was. I saw a thing about that car, the movie car, and the blower wasn't real. But I mean, I think the one now, the one they have out has a real one on it, but the actual movie car, the blower wasn't real, but they
Hey,
needed it
Ollie.
to spin. Ford Falcon XB, that's right,
Or Frank said Cortina.
Tina. And they put that fake blower on it. I'm trying to remember what that. I don't know if I watched that on YouTube or I seen it on like one of the car channels and
Well,
just
I'm
watch.
glad you said something, Ollie.
Hey, Ollie.
Dream car. What's everybody's dream car? I have too many, Don. I change my mind every week.
The Empty Pocket knows a lot about it too. The sound came from like a pump. Yeah. DeLorean. I guess is Back to the Future. Could you consider that a car movie because it has the DeLorean in it? I don't.
No, it only has one car.
Yeah, but it made that car so famous. It's like you can't look at a DeLorean and not think of Back to the Future. You can't. So it has to count, right?
I don't know, Don. If I had to think about it, I think I'd want one of those old timey trucks with the like step in sides and everything. That would be a cool car to have. 70s Chevelle SS. That ragtop. Ooh.
I love that. I don't think I love there's not a better Chevelle than the 70. I just wish, and everybody, everybody changes the back end to the 71, 72. That would be ideal, but the Chevelle, the 70 Chevelle's front end is just that car is perfect. The front end on those double headlight. I don't know why they did that in 1 year only. You go. I've been looking at I've been looking at the 70s Trans Ams a lot lately too. It's a lot of there's a lot of 79s out there, but they want too much money for those things, man. Remember, like in '79, they ran out of motors. They didn't have any. There was a shortage of engines, and so the Trans Am
Car
either
seat.
has the Oldsmobile 40, was it a 403, or they have the junk 301s. And I don't want to say junk, but late 70s, early 80 301s were dogs.
I went in
Yell at me
1950
if you want. You could make them run, but from the factory, they were dogs. And I remember Elliot's had a 301. You,
1953 Chevy 3100 truck. That's what I want. That's my dream car.
what year?
1953 Chevy 3100.
So you like the 3100s?
Yeah.
There was one at the car show, and it has that, uh, you want to say whiskey color leather interior. It was done to the nines. The guy bought it off of eBay, but he paid like 40 or $45,000 for it, maybe even 50. And I think he was getting ready to sell it. That's too much money. That was
I would
something.
want one like with the rusted patina look
Yeah.
or green. That green harvester green color.
Well, there's a few of them out there. But a lot of people, they like the one I'm telling you about. It was air conditioned, Kim. It had an LS motor, so it's new.
Good advice one.
That's sound. Rear engine mount. Yes, the 5 windows are nice. What did they call the 55s? Was that a not canopy, come on, help me. Begins with a C. Canopy or when they made the switch from the 3100s, the Cameo. Thank you, Bulldog. Sometimes my brain don't work, and it takes me a minute to think of it. They're nice. They're like a big window cab. The windows are real big, so you can see everything.
34 you I don't know. Tony G's he's got the Willys Jeep, right? That's a cool car too. See, I like too many things. I see something, I think it's cool, and then I want it.
I'm still hot on the old Scouts. Ever since I seen that new Scout, I started looking at the old Harvesters and the Scouts. They're cool. They're cool, man.
Oh, really, Don? Desert Rat had a 53 5-window cabbie sold last year.
Yep.
One, that's not nice.
That was the truck, Don. That was the truck that Mike put. Didn't he redo the fuel system on that because it was like a hard start? So he did something. I remember a project he did on that, and he changed the fuel pump, put a higher volume fuel pump on it, and to solve his start problem. I think that was the 53. In fact, I know it was the one he drives on the main island that he had with his oil truck. Mm. You know who else has a nice GMC truck is Mike Don. He's got, I think, yeah, he bought a brand new one like 2 years ago. It's like a 22 or a 23 now. He even did, I think he did a video on that, fixing his the trailer hitch, because the way that they designed the beds on those, you got to be careful. A lot of people were damaging their tailgate, putting it down with that step. You have to be careful if you have a tow hitch on there. A lot of people would forget they have a tow hitch on and put that down to put that step down, and they put a big dent in their tailgate. Does yours have that step down tailgate on it? I think it does. 2018, I think it does. Right? Yeah,
Take a
that's
stick.
what it was, Don. You put the electric pump on there. Wow, 1,800 bucks. That's a little steep, man. Empty Pockets has a 63 on line. I like those. I like the if I'm gonna go Ford, I'd like something 69 through like what is it, 73. They're pretty much the same. I like the look at the front of those trucks. They're gorgeous.
Chevy GMC 48 to 57. I'll have to look at them. One.
Those were hot like about 5 years ago, one, maybe a little longer than that. They've cooled way off because people were asking huge money. Like the guy I was telling you guys about that had the 3100 he bought off eBay. I mean, but the paint job's like a $20,000 paint job. But anyway, it's like the amount of money he paid for that to what people will pay for those today is night and day. But the old newer stuff is starting to really go up. If you're to believe those auction shorts I've been watching anyway, and what I see on the marketplace.
I don't know what that is. A Napco 4x4. I'll have to look that one up too, Don. See what it looks like. 73 Mustang. There you go, Mach 1. I always liked Mustangs.
Yeah. There's I saved a 69 too on my I didn't send you that one. I guess I didn't want to bother you. I saved it was a 69 with a 6-cylinder. It looks like somebody started it. It looks like all the interior parts are new. They never
Hey,
finished the
Tracy.
headliner. Hey
50,
Tracy, what's up?
55 Cameo looks like it's going fast. Well, that's cool. That is very cool.
It's not working now. David, what's going on? Yeah,
I
no.
remember you said you had that old Rolls Royce, David. I think you sent a picture. That's a cool car.
I think hold on a second. I just saw. Mm-mm. I don't know what's going on.
Ford people and Mustang people. Well, I used to drive my dad's. What was my dad's Thunderbird? A 66 Thunderbird
And I never seen it. He got rid of it before we were together.
where you could move the wheel. The wheel had to move the wheel over the steering wheel.
Oh, it was one of them. Remember that you can move the steering wheel out of the way to get in and out of the cars.
It was a boat. Maybe that's why I don't like boats. I was 16 and I was driving that car all over the place.
Yeah. Think about all the cool stuff they used to have. Like the Mopars, they were big for those push button transmissions where they had where instead of shifting it in gear, you'd hit a button to change reverse, forward drive. I think the early Cudas had those, right? The Barracudas, not Cuda, Barracuda, excuse me. Late 70s, mid 70s with the big bubble window. I think they had the push buttons in them, didn't they? Oh, the paddle. Yes, sir. There you go, my brother. I've been I've been going through mine pretty quick, David. I
It was
might
a,
have to go get my beer.
I think it was a 2-door, but that thing was so long it was like a 4-door.
It's the trunks on the older cars, Kim. You could fit a
Well, I'm
couch
pretty
in the
sure that
trunk.
the door was pretty big too.
Yeah, fat man steering wheel.
I'd probably need it now, Mark, but I didn't need it back then. But yeah, the steering wheel locking in, that I remember that. And it had like that wood grain panel on the front on the hey, Give Blood.
Kim likes those too. Actually, she's partial to the Chevelle or the early Chevelles.
It was a driving car. You couldn't see over the hood. I used to drive it
They're
when I was
similar.
16 to go play softball. Over here, actually, at Sun Valley.
I don't know. That was the take us. I don't, I don't know if I want to get a big boat. I've been thinking about getting like a what was that car we rented in California
Oh
when we
my
went to
god, that was like a
Reno with
Buick
my huh?
a Buick 3000 or something.
No, it wasn't a Buick. Was it?
I
Uh,
don't
we rented this big boat. It was almost like it would float. It's like one of those couch cars. If you're going to go on long trips, that's what you have to have. Is like well, I guess a Lincoln, something big and just cushy that you can get down in. My father had a Delta 88.
That's what it was. I'm pretty sure. It was an
That's what my
Oldsmobile.
dad had.
Maybe it was an Oldsmobile. I don't know. That's what Frank called them too. He called them couch cars, like
Yeah.
driving a couch.
My father had a Delta 88, and we drove it from Pittsburgh to Dallas. And I mean, that was such a long drive. He let all us boys drive. So when we were on the interstate, I mean, I was like 15. My brother Danny was 17. My stepbrother Mike was 15. And he let us all drive. He didn't care. He was like, he just wanted to get there and keep going. He didn't want to stop. So we all took turns, man. It was almost like it was great for us. I mean, for him, it was just a drag to drive that far, but all his kids got to drive. And that thing was so comfortable. You guys know that it was like, I think it was like an 80. I want to say it was like an 86 or an 87. It was a Delta 88, and it was a light metallic color, and it had dark brown, real plush interior. You can get right down in the chair on that one, man. And it was like you were driving a pillow.
Yeah, those steering wheels would make it easier now, Mark, to get in and out of a car now that I'm older. You can push it over to the side and then it would be easier to get out.
Go ahead, 79 Bonneville. You could play tennis on the hood.
Hey, there's Chaz.
There's Chaz. We talked about you earlier, Chaz. Telling everybody I found a 72 Grand Prix on the internet on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, your name popped right in my head. I'm like, oh, there's a Chaz. Chaz needs to buy that car. But my phone's reception dropped. It won't turn back on. I don't know why. It comes in and out when I'm doing
Chaz
this
says he
thing.
may need to buy that car. You'll have to
It,
send
it,
it
it
to
the
him.
link's in here, but it's way up there, man. You'd have to go way up to find it. I put a link to it in there so everybody could look at
It
it.
only goes back so far, you know that, right?
No, on mine it goes the whole way back. It's right here. I could just reshare this. I don't know if maybe.
You know, Martin, he's getting to be an old man now. It's like cool songs come on the radio and I turn them up and he's like, "That's too loud. That's too loud."
Well, once in a while, I get in the mood once in a while, but you blare it to where I got a headache.
That's because you're an old man.
Well, I don't want to say
I
I'm
like
old.
blaring the music. I like driving down the road with music blaring.
I want once in a while, not constant.
Well, every song that comes on is a good song. And if you don't like it, there's another station.
Okay. Who knows for how much longer? I like the Kim put one of those Amazon
Hey,
dots down.
Jer.
Hey Jer, what's up, buddy? Kim put one of those Amazon dots downstairs. So you can listen
That's right, Chaz.
you can listen to any radio station in the nation. So I I listened to my what I listened to when I lived in Pittsburgh down there, and they play some good music on there. So I can listen to that anytime I want. Last weekend I was playing that, hun, and it was pretty loud. I had Alexa turn it up some.
There's a good song on at all times one. You just gotta find it.
Do you guys use the iHeartRadio on Amazon or pretty good?
That's right. Turn it up to 11.
But I don't know if I just caught them on a good night or not, but it was like I put on the radio station from back home and every song was good. They played a lot of good stuff.
Too many medical commercials. There's too many medical commercials on everything.
That's on it. On the radio stations a lot. Mm. That was my last sip. Oh man, I haven't thought of him in years, Bob. Wolfman Jack. But I listen 102 or 92.5. Is that what you listen to,
Is that
Robbie?
country music, Robbie? Or is it or like old rock? Hey, Jim.
Let me see if I go. Yo, Jim, what's up, brother? Let me see here. Now that right there is the Pittsburgh channel that I was listening to last weekend, 102.5 DVE. Now the one we listen to around here is
Not 102.9 or 93.3. But 93.3 plays like
102.9. What's the on that, hon?
it used to
102.
be WMGK, but I don't know if that's still it or not.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the Philadelphia one. So those are the two channels I listen to, 102.5 and 102.9. But the top one's Pittsburgh and the bottom one is Philadelphia. And they both play
Okay, classic
very
rock. I'll
similar
check it out,
channels.
Robbie.
But like for whatever reason, the Pittsburgh channel was hitting last weekend. It was Saturday night too. It was jamming.
That's a classic rock station. So Lone Star 92.5.
93.3.
And Bulldog says WTTF 93.3 in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, but that's like one of the cool things about the having those Alexa dots or whatever. I know people say, "Oh, they're spying on you." What are they going to find out about Kim and I? Our world's an open book, you guys know. And but anyway, it's like you could listen to any radio station you want at any time as long as you got the Prime. That's one thing I love Amazon, man, for that kind of stuff. It's like they kind of made that X radio, XFM or whatever it is that they kind of made that obsolete. You know, everybody has the iHeart stuff now.
I'll definitely check it out, Robbie. Because if I don't like what's on, I like to find something that's good that's on another station.
Right.
Spotify's good.
There you go.
I have my own music with Alexa. I have my own music saved, and I have everything from pop to rock.
Exactly. Exactly. But it's like it's cool if we should start sharing radio stations, man. That way, if there's nothing playing here, you can play whatever. And it's like 102.5 WDVE's Pittsburgh, 102.9 WMGK is Philadelphia, and they both play good music. I mean,
Content.
like I know, like the 102.9, it'll play anything from like the Doobie Brothers to like modern, not today music, but like modern. When I say modern, like 80s rock. They just started doing that in
Oh,
like the last 2 years, I guess, because my age group's coming into thing, but they still play the Bob Seger and the
I
stuff
do
like
like
that, but Doobie Brothers or whatever. But then boom, they'll throw Guns N' Roses in there. A little bit of Ozzy, sprinkle in a little bit of Ozzy.
I do like the 80s hip hop, the old 80s hip hop.
And the 102.5 WDVE in Pittsburgh. The reason I like that is most of it, at least it seems to me, is the 80s rock.
QFM 96.3. Okay, gotta write these down.
You better start writing them down.
Hey, well, it is that time, isn't it? Have a
Oh
good
man, we
weekend.
ran past. We're running past. We're 30 seconds over. I'm sorry. See, you guys are a lot of fun to talk to. All right, man. Well, check this out. Let's meet up again next week. Do something fun. Come back. We'll talk about it. Everybody have a great weekend. All that good stuff. Be safe. Do something fun. Come back next week and tell us about it. Till next time. Take care.
Bye.